The program Our Daily Bread is a daily window through which we reflect on spiritual nourishment. Just as we need bread to nourish our bodies, our souls also need sustenance to provide them with strength and faith. Through this program, we will delve into the deep meanings of life, meditate on the sacred words, and learn how these words can be the bread that nourishes our souls and grants them peace in facing the challenges of daily life. The program is prepared and directed by Father Noor Alkasmosa. Let us partake together in this spiritual nourishment that refreshes hearts and strengthens faith. Our meditation for today is on the verses 18 to 37 from chapter 6 of the book of Sirach, which speak about training in wisdom, where it says, "My son, from your youth up choose instruction, and till gray hairs you will find wisdom. Approach wisdom like a plowman and a sower, and expect her good crops. For in working about her you will toil but little, and soon you will eat of her produce. How very harsh she is to the undisciplined! The fool cannot abide her. She will be like a heavy stone on him, and he will not delay in casting her off. For wisdom is like her name, and she is not manifest to many. Listen, my son, and accept my opinion, do not reject my advice. Put your feet into her fetters and your neck into her collar. Put your shoulder under her and carry her, and do not chafe at her bonds. Approach her with all your soul, and with all your strength keep her ways. Search out and seek, and she will become known to you. And when you get hold of her, do not let her go. For at last you will find the rest she gives, and she will be changed into joy for you. Then her fetters will become for you a strong defense, and her collar a glorious robe. Her yoke is a golden ornament, and her bonds are a purple cord. You will wear her like a glorious robe, and put her on like a crown of gladness. If you wish, my son, you can be disciplined, and if you apply yourself, you will become clever. If you love to listen, you will gain knowledge, and if you pay attention, you will become wise. Stand in the company of the elders, who is wise. Stick to him. Desire to listen to every godly discourse, and do not let the proverbs of understanding escape you. If you see an intelligent man, visit him early, let your foot wear out his doorstep. Reflect on the statutes of the Lord and meditate at all times on his commandments. He will strengthen your heart, and the wisdom you desire will be granted to you. A new story I share with you, dear ones, and a new lesson from the experiences of life we learn from it. Today's story is titled The Fruits of Discipline, where our story tells there was a young man named Sami who lived in a small village surrounded by green fields. Sami was known among the villagers for his love of life and play, but he didn't care much for learning or working. One day, his wise neighbor advised him, saying, "Sami, take discipline in your youth and plant within yourself a love for learning and work. Just as a farmer sows his field, you will harvest the fruits of wisdom and success." At first, Sami didn't pay much attention to these words, but he noticed how his neighbor, who had worked hard since his youth, lived a peaceful and stable life. Sami decided to heed his neighbor's advice and began learning new skills and working diligently. It was difficult at first, as he faced many challenges and sometimes wished to return to his carefree life, but his determination and belief that he would eventually reap the rewards kept him going. Years passed, and Sami grew into a wise and successful man. He owned a large farm that produced the best crops, and everyone in the village came to him for advice. Sami realized that the hard work he had done in his youth was like tilling the soil, and it had now borne fruit in a life filled with blessings. The lesson, my dears, is as the Bible teaches, taking discipline and working hard from a young age is like tilling and planting the soil. It requires effort and patience, but the fruits that are eventually harvested make all the hard work worthwhile. Therefore, we should cultivate wisdom and discipline within ourselves early on so that we may reap a life full of success and happiness.
At the end of today's episode of Our Daily Bread, I, Father Noor Alkasmosa, would like to thank you, dear ones, for joining us on this spiritual journey where we reflect on nourishment for our souls and hearts. Just as bread feeds our bodies, the sacred words we meditated on today are sustenance for our souls, strengthening our faith and granting us peace and tranquility in our daily lives. I encourage you to continue partaking in this spiritual bread day after day and to make meditation on its meanings a part of your life. I remind you to follow us on social media to stay connected and benefit from more reflections, stories, and spiritual content. We will meet again in a new episode of our Daily Bread, where we will share together in the nourishment of the soul. I leave you in God's protection and care, and glory be to God always. Amen.